Mrs. Frankler's tomorrow.
Okay.
I've got to go poop.
I certainly hope I'm not the only one who looks forward to this hour of the day, because I really do. I got to tell you. Oh, my God. Here we are. we go. It looks like it's time for some action. Not the kind of action or reaction that you want. It's the kind of action that you can't really participate in. All you can do is observe. And as we are all casual observers of the human nature, I think that counts, don't you? Yeah. Counts for all of us. So, yeah, as long as I can keep my sea legs under me today, we'll be okay. First of all, something I... No. Bum, 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 bum. Something I want to point out here to go over here like this. Not that one. And this one right here. There we go. Patreon. For those of you guys, I know not everybody gets the alert from YouTube that we're going on. YouTube's very, very bad about that. So we set up Patreon. But Patreon has been having issues also. I figured I would tell you guys right now. Some of the staff can put up the Patreon link. If you don't get the notification on Facebook, if you don't get the notification on YouTube, we are on Rumble on the rare occasion something posts. We are on Patreon, and we send you a direct email just once before the show. That's kind of all we do, letting you know the show is going to start in half an hour. Now, it's very, very helpful because there's tons of people. You should see the comment section after a live stream is posted. People go, God damn, I missed it. Motherfucker couldn't find it, and nobody told me. Patreon tells you. With great regularity, except for recently, they have noted they've been having some internal issues. So, if you are part of Patreon, don't think that we are not sending messages anymore. Please don't think that we have been derelict in our duties. We have not. It's just that on occasion things aren't coming through and people are saying I didn't get the message. We've been actually screenshotting, say, look, we sent it. You know, it's on Patreon, but they are getting better about it. Patreon's trying. YouTube doesn't care. If you don't get the notification because you didn't hit the like, you didn't hit the subscribe, you didn't hit the bell or whatever you're supposed to do, they don't give a shit. Patreon seems to care. All right, so just letting you know. That's a little something there from something land, letting you know the world is not what it seems. We're all trying to do our part. Okay, so stuff. There was things to discuss. Had to get that out of the way, just to let you know, because it was a concern. Who's in here? We have a lot of familiar names in here. Let's just jumping in, not scrolling back. New name. Savannah Ray says, hello, everyone. Some of the regulars are in here. Josh Maddock is on staff, swinging the big blue wrench. The lovely, the ever-present, the always classy Mrs. Forwatton, gracing the screen to all of us, anyone who observes. Mr. Blackstar, top notch rule. Mike Perkinson, good old faithful guy. Him and Ace Time have been around a long time. I hate fucks. One of the original guys who props up the program with kindness. Yes, he's here too. Mrs. T, Takasama. Who else in here? Romy's back in the group. Evelyn. And I can go on and on. There's KG's in here. Amanda's in here. Noelle. Going back on. There's stuff. But there's new names like Jesse Rios Jr. That's one I didn't see before. And I probably fucked it up, ruined his name, and he won't come back. Well, that's on me. I've ruined it. Don't already said that was. Yeah. I can go back through his stuff. It's when you look in the comment section, which is where you guys are, look in the comment section. Everyone says, "Oh, look at all the green names. They're all green names. There's no more white names. We're not getting new people." Think about what you're seeing. The people that are commenting, Cat Stevens is a much love from Albuquerque. There we go, loving New Mexico. But Get Into the Wild, there's another one. So the reason that there's mostly green in there is because people that have participated joined. You don't be upset if all the names turn green. I mean, I'd love to have more people with white names like Jonathan Marker's in there, fishing for dealers. I'd love to see more names in here, people that are just for the first time commenting or just recently shown up. But it's okay if they join the membership and they turn green. I'm okay with that too. It's all right because that means that they liked what was going on enough to spend a buck and hang out. That's what's good. John Mason's in there. Crypto Kids, Tommy Cook. Now you see you're getting some names. Paul McDonald, greetings from Colorado. Everybody checking in. So what I'm saying is don't be too upset if there's mostly green names and not as many white names. This is the white names. We just haven't converted them into the cult yet. We have to work on that. Yeah. Hypnotism goes a long way. I'm working on how to hypnotize over the internet. Once I perfect that, and it should take another 10 years, but once I perfect that, we're good. We're down the road motors, man. All right, some stuff that we got to get to, and it's funny when you guys all talk to my wife in here, Gen X Mom. She's the one 99% of the yellow name Gen X comments as it goes by. Before the show begins, when you guys are all saying hello to each other and kind of catching up, everybody's going to the bathroom and getting their cup of coffee before they sit down. Gen X Mom's in there talking to everybody, saying hello. She always says the same things. One phrase that scrolls by, and maybe you guys have seen it. She says, "I wonder what the general's going to talk about today." Now that may sound stupid. It's like, oh, you've been hanging out with him all morning. You know. No, she doesn't. She has no fucking idea what I'm going to say. Because sometimes if she saw the list, she'd go, yeah, don't talk about that. Scratch that off and move on to something else. Or she'd fill in her own ideas. No, not at all. She has no idea. Now, today is pretty straightforward. I'm not going to go off the rails. I am not going to scream. I did that last time. We did that on Friday. If you remember the World Show on Friday, I for half an hour, I went off script. And I would apologize for all the people that I offended. I apologize for all it caused a commotion. It caused a commotion, but I was angry and I was upset. And I said, fuck it. I'm just going to tell everybody. A lot of you went with me on that. I went back and looked at the comments. You guys don't think I do. I went back and looked and scrolled through the live comments. A lot of you were on board. A ton of you were like, fuck yeah, we all on the same page in how we feel. Yes. Common sense is rampant among the living because that's proof. You and I said it. So no, she doesn't know what I'm saying. She doesn't know what's going on. There's some things in here. Won't spend a lot of time on redundancy. We'll try to get past that, but there are some things that need to be dealt with. All right, so let's go to let me just go over this real quick here and just tell you, because this was a topic a couple times and I did get some emails. We all know that the coronation was the thing. We talked about this, and it's not polarizing. It is not. I found that nobody cares heavily one way or the other, which is good. Nobody's like, oh my God, you didn't watch it? You're an asshole. No, nobody said that. And nobody's, oh my God, I can't believe you watched that coronation. You're an asshole. No, nobody said that either. However, it was a pretty good split. It was about 50-50 on people that watched it. And I don't care if you did or you didn't. Some people enjoyed it. Some people watched just to observe. I didn't care to this time. But just so you know, I like it when topics in the world, I like that there can be some division and conversation. I also like it when it doesn't divide people into hatred, when it doesn't be like, sorry, we can't be friends. You didn't watch the coronation. We're done talking here. I hate that. That's in my country, in the United States, that's a big, big thing with Republicans and Democrats. It says you can't talk politics without hatred. You automatically hate the other side. And then you have your list of reasons. I'm very glad this was something that we could all just kind of shrug it off and you can have a beer and talk about it and nobody cared one way or the other, but it was an interesting why you did watch it, why you didn't. Just so you know, that seems to be a huge topic of who did, who didn't, but nobody cares very deeply about it. So I was okay with that. It wasn't a big deal. I know the one thing I will tell you, and this I'm guessing. This goes back to heritage that I will admit I'm unfamiliar with. I didn't live through it. I am not living through it. The monarchy and the British Empire extends still to other countries because some of you countries out there still have the little British flag, Chinggis, in your flag. And I'm gonna guess this was Australia. Now it could have been Scotland or it could have been Ireland. I don't know where it was. But there was a soccer game, what you guys call a football game. I call it a soccer game. And the crowd began singing, chanting. And it went on for 3, 4, 5 minutes. And it was either a Facebook reel or a YouTube short, like a TikTok. And because this guy filmed it, the whole crowd was saying, take the coronation and shove it up your ass. And this stadium was a big stadium. This wasn't like an afternoon at the park with, your soccer mom and she got a cooler full of snacks in her minivan. No. This was huge. And they were singing in unison some sort of a chant and a song with a rhythm. And it was take the coronation and shove it up your ass. They were drinking. And the whole 40,000 people were doing this. Now, there's some people that had an opinion. I should have tried to find that and show you guys, but it would have taken me long because it just happened before the program. But I did see it. I played it 3 times to make sure what I was listening. And they captured it. They captioned what was going on. So there's still apparently some animosity. And I'll tell you the vibe I'm getting as a dumb American, which I am, dumb American here. A lot of the British Empire still aren't real happy being related, ruled by, governed by, influenced by England. But I think the vibe I'm getting is I think some of you tolerated it a little bit because the monarchy had some dignity, perhaps. Now that this dude's in there, now the last shred of the monarchy that you guys were holding on to is like, fucking Britain and England and getting the flag and it's ruling over us and hanging to get their grip off of us and taxes. And when Queen Elizabeth died, it almost feels like you guys are saying, fuck it. That was the last straw. I'm done. I was kind of hanging on because of her, but I'm through. And I'm certainly not following this dipshit. That's the vibe. I'm just saying. I'm no disrespect to Charles. I never met the man. If we ever hang out and have a drink together, I might have a different opinion. But until then, I'm just throwing out what I'm saying. A keen observer of human nature here, just watching what's going on. So that seems to be a little bit of the gig. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know everything. I just know one sliver. All right, let me jump over here between the sheets. For those of you who don't know what the sheets are. I have a separate monitor to my left, your right, and what I've got over here is the notes that I haven't seen. Now, if I'm talking here, I can't read what's going on in the comments. Now, can I? You can bitch all you guy doesn't read the fucking comment. No, I don't read the comments. I try to read all the comments, but I can't. It's very difficult, especially if I'm telling a story. And so what my wife does is she's in her office and she copies and pastes interesting things and puts them over here on Google Docs, Google Sheets or whatever. So we affectionately call it over here between the sheets. I've got my wife between the sheets over here and I'm going to read what you guys wrote. You see how that worked out? Good. Glad you're coming along. All right. Top Knots rules. So it was the British version of Let's Go Brandon. Yeah. Now that you've said that, yes, very much like that. And yes, exactly, very much like that. A little more straightforward. A little more straightforward. Deepak says most countries, if not all in the Commonwealth, can choose to leave the Commonwealth if they want, as far as I know. Sure. But then again, the government controls in those Commonwealth states or Commonwealth countries, they control whether you leave or stay. There's a small amount of people up there. The country may want to leave, but I doubt they elect people just on their representation of are we going to stay or go. But I think that's true. I would agree with you, Deepak. Where are we? Reality. Good day, General. Looking handsome as always. Well, thank you. Mrs. Fort Watton, hello, you handsome fellow. The compliments are just flowing in, and I need them. I do. My emotions for the day rise and fall on how this program goes. If you guys are very discouraging, I just crawl up the stairs, go into my room, and get into a fetal position in the dark corner, and I wait until my next show where I can fish for compliments once again. So please, I'd rather be out in the world today, and I'm sure my wife would feel the same way. Thank you very much, ladies. Kiriaki, Black Roses, hello from Canada. Got a bunch of Canadian friends up in the Great White North. We dig that. Jason Miller, good morning, General. Greetings from the city of Surprise, Arizona. The Dirty Wrench, city of... That's not a real place, is it? Jason Miller says, good morning, General. Greetings from the city of Surprise, Arizona. Then in parentheses it says the Dirty Wrench. Boy, that message got me bewildered, bamboozled, flummoxed, if you will. And if none of you know what those words are, that means you're under the age of 45, and I'm going to need you to leave the program right now. You can go look up those words and come back, but clearly you're a child, and you're going to have to sit at the little kids' table when you join back in the party. For those of you who know what those words are, you can be just as perspective. For those of you who know what those words are, you can be just as Fuck! I know the word. I'm going to try that again. Take 3. For those of you who know what those words are, you can sit here right alongside me and be just as perplexed as I am. Whew, fuck. Not too good from your trained broadcast professional when the word I'm making up in my head can't even come out my mouth. Fuck! There is so many of you laughing at me right now, and there's a difference. I don't mind you laughing with me, but there's a ton of you that know me that are laughing at me right now that have been part of this program for 2 years that are giggling your asses off because I just fucked myself on public TV. And not in a good way. No. All right. Maniacs, did you get the same benefit? Okay, hang on. Maniacs, now that's in a different color. So I think it's Maniacs that said that. Do you get the same benefits or are they different ones for different types of membership? Facebook, YouTube, and Patreon. I am only a Patreon member so far. Okay. Maniacs, fair question. Let me just run over that real quick because I'm pretty sure I'm adept to this one. Facebook subscribers, if you're a subscriber on Facebook to the General's Lunchbox, that's one. It's $1. YouTube membership in here, that's $1. Patreon membership, that's $1. Okay. All of those are $1. Now, you get all the same posts. There's behind the scenes stuff we do. We tell stories over here, but then we post pictures behind the scenes of little stupid shit going on. I posted a video of my wife because you guys know we got bunnies. Because those of you who are here, when I was talked into getting the bunnies with my granddaughter and my daughter and my wife, we came home with bunnies. Then we had to get a bunny hutch. I didn't know there was such a thing as a bunny hutch. You guys educated me. That was a real word. I thought you were fucking making it up, but you weren't. So then there's bunnies, and then the other day one got loose and she then jumped out of her arms, and there was a security camera that was caught her running around chasing the bunnies. Doesn't really have much to do with the program, but as far as Gen X talks behind the scenes, that was funny. Also got one of Gen X mom dancing to the Jackson 5 in Las Vegas. Remember that? A lot of you were there for that meet and greet. Those type of things kind of go up for everybody, okay? The only difference is I try to make it to where everybody who's on the subscriber sites, everybody gets to see what's going on. However, Patreon allows us to send an email. Facebook does not to all of the Facebook subscribers. No. YouTube membership? No. We can't send an email to you guys, only Patreon. So if you're on Patreon, you should get to see everything everybody else does, but you also get an email warning when we're going live, lets you know what's going on. So that's the benefit. Plus, there are short stories that I write from time to time, not poetry, they're stories, and they only go up on Patreon. Or I'm pretty sure they only go up on Patreon. So there's a couple benefits there. Now, some of the stuff that's coming starting at the end of this month, on YouTube, there's tiers of membership. Everything's $1, except for on YouTube, you can go to an upper tier and then a top tier, bottom of the glass nation tier. Now, there's some status that goes along with that. If you pledge the $5 and you're part of that, you're part of a group. You're part of a family. If I have to explain what bottom of the glass is, then just stick with the $1 one. I don't have time to go into it. But there is some stuff coming starting the end of this month and all summer long that's only on YouTube, top tier, bottom of the glass. I mean, if you're going to spend $5, wouldn't you want a little something? A little something extra? Wouldn't you like a little something other than my love and adoration and an undying loyalty, which you get? But maybe a little something. There's a few things that are going to come down the pipe that only bottom of the glass nation members on YouTube will be able to see. We could put up different tiers on Patreon, but we just went the cheapest way out to get people to be able to join and get emails. So there is some changes coming, but Mike Perkins was a longtime loyal guy around here. He got onto you guys one time talking about this, going, if you joined Patreon, you joined Facebook, you joined YouTube member, if you subscribe to their podcast, he listed them all. He goes, if you did all of them at $6, for every one of them, you'd be out $6. Quit fucking bitching. That was his message. Quit trying to, well, what do you get here? What do you get there? And what about this? And can I have that? And the tier and the lower, and do I miss anything there? And where do I get? He finally stepped in one day in a conversation with Mike, goes, you sign up for all of them at $6. Quit fucking complaining. I thought that was funny. It's true, but it was also very funny. So I hope that answers your questions. If not, you can rewind it and play it to your heart's content. Oh, the gray names let you know that they're not members. Okay, my wife is now. All right, now I see. So that's brilliant. If she puts a name in gray, I know that it's not a member speaking and she's copying and pasting, like Paul McDonald here. They have to vote to leave the empire. Scotland has been trying to leave for years. Then if they can leave and you vote to leave the British Empire, why would Scotland be trying to leave? Wouldn't you just vote and go? That's my question. If I agree with Deepak and Paul right there, if you can just vote yourself out and you want to go, I mean, you don't want the British rule and you don't want their navy protecting you or whatever the flip side of the coin is on that. Why would there be trouble getting out of it? So why couldn't Scotland just go? That's a question. Tomash Kin, General, he gifted 10 memberships. Tomash, where the hell have you been? Tomash, I haven't seen you in, it's got to be 6 years now. It feels like forever. Anytime you guys see Tomash's name up there, I want you guys to remember, not only is he a lifelong member and a friend of mine, well, we've known each other. Tomash and I have known each other forever. We went to different high schools together back in the day. Go look it up. It's a true story. Same page on 2 completely different yearbooks. It's the weirdest thing ever, but it worked. Tomash is our number one guy over there in Israel. He grabs a weapon and stands a post on the eastern border to protect all of us in the bottom of the glass nation. That means we can conduct ourselves without the fear of attack. That's what Tomash is doing. So throw up that Israeli flag. Whenever you see Tomash's name, just put the flag up there for Israel. It's a big thing. It's important. He donated 10 memberships. Slim Pickens, Michael 7. No more names. There's no more names listed in there. That's weird. We're having trouble with that one. All right. Mr. Blackstar gifted 1 membership, but no name came up. YouTube's got a problem with that. We may have to ask them about that today. Yes, we have a direct line to YouTube where we talk to an actual person in YouTube. True story. Anthony, he's brand new around here too, or recently new. Gen X Dad, thank you for being some of the last bastions of sanity left. Anthony, just the fact that you said those words means there's 2 of us, man. Means there's 2 of us at least, you and me. I'm agreeing with you, buddy. Crystal Walton, she says, I recently started watching your show. Awesome. I agree with everything you say. Spoiler, I'm Gen X too. Watching from East Tennessee. I have a special place in my heart for people from East Tennessee, as you might have noticed. Tomash Kin, $30, and that is, what's that Israeli money symbol? Do you guys see that thing next to Tomash's name? It looks like 2 interlocking hands. I don't know what that means. 30. There's 30 of them, whatever they are. Tomash, this is me and my good luck. My right palm is cracked and crushed, so I won't be able to correspond again. Love you all. My dearest general is my hero. Thank you, Tomash, for that. Now I want to go on to Discord and find out. Tomash is on Discord. It's free talk, free talk. What the fuck is wrong with me? I need more alcohol. That's my problem. I need more medication, liquid medication, and I wouldn't be fucking up my words. Tomash is on Discord. It is the Gen X Talks, their chat rooms, and that's where we can all talk to each other between the show. If you'd like to hang out and just talk to people, it's free. Just talk to people that are like-minded. Just go into whatever room you want with a topic you want. Tomash is in there. Now we're going to go find out what happened to his hand. Oh, he'll post pictures too. He's not afraid. Ace Diamond, $5. Surprise, Arizona is a real town, General. Is it really? Now I want to fucking go there. I just want to go there to say that I've been there. I do. Turtle King, member for 7 months. He is a member of the Bottom of the Glass Nation. Turtle King, thank you. He writes chicks, man. Chicks. How many times during the day can we use that, my friend? How many times of the day? Russell Sperry, another new one there. We are the same age, but I'm thinking we couldn't care less about death for different reasons. Yeah, well, I find myself caring about other people's deaths more than my own. No, I really couldn't care. I would prefer not to die painfully. I would prefer that to be a thing. But no, I don't. If I died tomorrow, and I speak on this regularly, if I'm not here, I'm not here. I'm okay with that. I've lived what I consider a full life, which is my wife and my kids. Those are my greatest accomplishments. So, someone is darkening my door.
Have you been telling stories about me this morning? Making comments?
No.
Yes, you have. You said, oh, mom's video and mom's video.
Oh, no. Those were compliments.
Oh, okay.
I said you danced you danced to the Jackson 5 very well. Everybody liked that video. Okay. There was something else I said about you too. What did I say?
The bunny one.
Oh, yeah. That was funny.
I knew when that happened. I knew you were going to get that video.
You were right in front of the security camera. We put a security camera on the bunny so we could watch him. And you let one out, and you were holding 2. You were chasing the third one. When you reached down for the third one,
I said, oh, shit.
One jumped out. You're like, fuck, shit, motherfucker, yes. Get back here. Come on.
Okay.
That was funny.
It was. I have a couple announcements.
Okay.
First of all.
Yeah.
For everybody that is listening right now or watching, this Saturday's Bottom of the Glass Nation is the cooking show of Gen X Dad and Gen Z Kid. They'll be cooking for me for Mother's Day.
No,
yes.
that's far. That's like months away.
It's Saturday night. So everybody mark your calendars. Saturday night.
Now, this is the one where I have to cook with the kid live.
Yes, in my kitchen. You're going to destroy my kitchen.
All the cameras, all the lights.
Yes.
Okay.
So mark it down on your calendars this Saturday night, bottom of the Glass Nation.
I am not wearing that apron with no shirt, though.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that. My next announcement is $50 from Mrs. Four on PayPal for the new studio fund.
I love that. Now,
I do have another announcement.
I have one too, but I needed you here for it. Okay, you go first.
Hold on. I have two more announcements.
Okay.
Also, on our Amazon, I think the moderators will post, we have a studio wish list.
Yes.
That we need some items purchased. Also, I know with all the studio stuff that's going on, we're forgetting something really major, that Gen Z kid is graduating high school
Michael
on
Dawson
June 1st.
brought that up for us. Michael Dawson.
Yes, I've had lots of emails and messages, and yes, he is graduating June 1st. We can't forget that. There is a wish list on Amazon for his graduation if you would like to.
But can the moderators put up both wish lists? There's a studio wish list, things we would love to have help with, and the kids' graduation wish list?
I don't know. They might have it. They might have the graduation one.
A good moderator would be at the ready to post right now.
Yeah, but we can't forget about Gen Z kid. That's the reason why we're here.
We're getting all caught up doing this. I have something else you forgot to announce.
What's that?
Thursday's show.
Oh, Thursday's show.
Bottom of the Glass Nation Thursday.
Yes, Thursday's Bottom of the Glass Nation. We will not be here. We're sorry to tell you.
Tell them
why. Gen Z Kid has his final FFA banquet, year-end banquet, where he's getting honored. So we, as parents, have to tell you, we can't be here Thursday. We will be there. So Thursday, no show, but Saturday, the cooking show.
Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome there. See, look at me taking charge, remembering the calendar of events. Yeah, Mrs. Four is taking all the notes. We should give Mrs. Four an email so that when people go, what's going on or what happened, Mrs. Four could just answer her email and reply. We should get her a Gen X Talks email address if she'd be willing to. And then when someone says, what's going on with this, or did we miss that, or how did that, who's doing what, Mrs. Four can go to her notes and just it could be work though. It could be one email a week, but with Mrs. Four, everyone could turn around and she could have 400 in one day. I'll have to ask her. I'll have to ask Mrs. Four if she'd be willing to do that, because that would be good. I would totally be willing to set her up with an email for calculated risk effort management there. Let's see. Yeah, Russell Sperry got him about death. Takasama, member for 7 months. Takasama is Bottom of the Glass Nation certified. He's bona fide. Member for 7 months is Bottom of the Glass Nation. Not enough of Scotland voted to leave when they had a referendum. Is that, now see, that's another question. Okay, that answers my question. Why didn't they go? But then I would ask, is it trending, as years go on, is it trending towards more people wanting to leave? Or is it trending towards more people not wanting to leave? That would be my question, as Shakespeare would say. And Shakespeare said it that way. Shakespeare, if you actually read the literal text of Shakespeare, which I have, it says, to be or not to be. What's up? He wants to know. It's a true story. At least it's true. It's a story. Joey Gouda, $5. Oh, $5 from Joey. Here's a fifth for whiskey. Thank you, my man. Ace Diamond, $5. Christmas and Santa Claus are also real towns in Arizona, General. Nice spot to spend your birthday. Wait a minute. There's Christmas, Santa Claus, and surprise? Okay, what weed-smoking person is drawing the maps in Arizona? That's it. If those are real, there's a dude. There's no way those weren't voted on by the people of the town. No. Who would do that? There's literally some dude sitting in a room going, No. I got you. Let me just write. I'll name your town. I'll name your town. Hold on a second. Surprise! Yeah, fuck it. Write that down. That's how those towns are being created in Arizona. Tell me I'm wrong. Come on. One dude doing that. FC says, Gen X Dad, I appreciate you too. I am Gen X 80 and my husband is Gen X 78. I introduced you to him last night and he was floored. We thought we were the only two people who still thought this way. Thank you for your podcast. FC, I'm glad you found us. I'm glad you passed me along to your husband, us over here. If you're listening to the audio podcast, and this is what's different. For those of you who don't know, the kid and I spar and he gets under my skin on those ambush videos, those fucking ambush videos, those shorts you guys seem to like so much. All right. Over here, I try to run things, okay? Very dominant figure, very imposing personality, if you will. But on the audio podcast, and I think all of you, I'm going to get a thumbs up here. Anybody who listens to the audio podcast, give me a thumbs up if you agree. In those, Gen X Mom, who's on them with me all the time, the whole podcast, the audio podcast, it's her and I. Does she or does she not kick the shit out of me every podcast? You want to know who rules the audio podcast? That girl. Anybody who listens, if you agree with me, put a thumbs up there. If you listen to the audio podcast, and I know some of you do because there's a lot of listeners over there, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I don't get the shit kicked out of me over there. This here is my domain. I am the king of this particular little tiny castle. But not that one, and not the ambush videos. Mrs. Fort Watton says that's a job I'd accept. Well, then let's talk about that today, because that'd be great. And there's not a lot, all the moderators, everybody has emails, but there's so very few emails. Actually, there's not a lot going. They email us. I try to refer them in directions, but if we should do that, Mrs. Well, that'd be great. You may only get 2 a month, but it may grow, and it's probably important. If you got 2 emails with someone confused, I can't think of anyone better than you, Mrs. Ford, to help guide them on the path to luxury in life. Through Gen X Talks, of course. James Broderick, hello, sir. Hope everything is good in California. Title 42 ends in a few days. Get ready. They're panicking right now, though. There's a lot, if you noticed if you looked at the politics in my country, Title 42 ends, so the entire border has got thousands and thousands and thousands of people getting ready to cross over quickly so they can't get kicked out. Essentially what Title 42 is doing. It's a protection for us, and it's going away. But there's a lot of blowback already from Democrats, from liberals who are quietly going, don't do this. We're all going to get unelected. None of us are going to get reelected. All of us are going to get thrown. Don't do this. Don't actually let this happen. Now, you talk a good story, but don't let it. There's bipartisan support trying to replace it with something very quickly. It may not happen, but they're working on it, right? This behind the scenes, they're working on it furiously, letting you know. We'll see how it plays out. James, you're right. You got to brace for impact on that. Kiriaki, got him. Khaki, that's her name. Khaki Black Roses. General, there is a town in Newfoundland with the name of Dildo. The fuck does this shit? Who names their towns after this stuff? Come on, you guys. Well, you absolutely ran out of names, and so this is the shit you threw out there? All right. Someone told me I'm wrong. Ace Diamond, $5. General, you're wrong. Consult a Thomas Guide of Arizona. Yeah, I'm just talking about who made the Thomas Guide. That's all I'm bringing up. All right, let's get back to the show, can we? We've been on pause for so long. I want to tell you that you guys have asked me, like, movie reviews and television reviews and what do you watch and what do you think. I don't ever do that. Very seldom do we talk about anything like that. But Ted Lasso it looks like it's filmed and written about football in England. And for the first 2 seasons of Ted Lasso, you would have never found a bigger champion than myself. The way it was written, the character, his humility, his honesty, trying to bumble his way through life with his own struggles was brilliant. I couldn't wait. My wife and we couldn't wait to watch the next Ted Lasso. We were dying for the next season, and the first 2 seasons were flawless, in my opinion. I've been watching comedy writing, and I've been watching sitcom writing my entire life. I've got a few years under my belt. I think I can weigh in on this with some degree of authority, okay? And it was just absolutely outstanding. Season 3, I think we're 6, 7, 8, whatever it is, 9 episodes into season 3, and the first 2 or 3, maybe we're only on episode 6. The first 2 or 3 episodes, it felt like they were phoning it in. It was kind of like there was nothing gripping, there was nothing telling, had a few jokes, but it wasn't anything. It really was an odd turn, almost like they changed writers, is what it felt like. But then there's a huge focus this season of Ted Lasso on homosexual relationships. And they don't really pertain to the story. I don't really care about heterosexual relationships in these comedy things if they don't pertain to the story. I don't care. I thought some of the stuff they were doing in some of the regular heterosexual relationships were kind of drawn on a little bit too, but it's like, okay, can we get back to the story? But it's all right. And that's the way I feel about these. They're really pushing it. I find myself skipping ahead. Like, okay, I get it. Yeah, you're in a relationship, but they spend so much time on it now. This is not a daytime soap opera to me. If I wanted that, I'll click on Days of Our Lives, if that's even still a show. But there's one aspect of one homosexual relationship that's kind of hidden and trying to keep it a secret, and people may find out. Now, I find that really interesting because it depicts the person who struggles with, should I come out? Should I tell people? Should I not? This guy found out. These guys don't know. I mean, there's some emotion to that because that's real life. It has to do with the story. He's a player on the team, and there's some issues that can arise from that. But just spending time on the relationship means nothing. And Ted Lasso, I believe, is suffering because of that. I'm losing interest fast. Just so you know, I was a big champion of the show. I love the cast. I love the crew. I love the writers. Up until season 3, they're phoning it in, and the part they're not phoning in seems to be like not relevant to the show, and I'm losing interest. We've talked about that briefly. That's it. All right, where was I? There was someone said, no, I had something else too. Because we've talked about this for such a long time. Russia, world show, Russia, getting out of the part of Ukraine in the Chernobyl area, if you will. Or maybe that's the other one, but I think that's where they were talking about was this one. But Russia evacuates Ukraine region that holds Europe's largest nuclear plant. Okay. They're pulling back. They're pulling out. They're moving. And they say they're still winning. Well, you're not winning. And then they go to the news and say, Ukraine's not winning. We're not winning. They're not winning. We're moving pieces around the board. They're moving pieces around the board. We're not losing, Russia says. If your intent was to invade a country and take it over and you're not doing that, you're not accomplishing your goal, you're fucking losing. Putin, you're losing. Now, I'm hearing the same things you guys are. I know I have some information that I can call and get some stuff on with my burner phone to his burner phone, and I can get some. And it is the same thing that fucked up everything in the beginning. Russia should have been able to take over the country in 2 weeks, and they did not. A lot of it, and I'm not discounting the Ukrainians' strength and their willpower, which is 90% of it. Agreed. The command structure. The thing that's not being super reported is the breakdown in command structure with Russia. One of the first phone calls I ever got when all this thing went sideways, and I answered the phone and said, "What the fuck is going on?" The voice on the other end told me, no one will stand up to Putin. You guys remember the stories of Hitler and Hitler running the war, and he wasn't a war guy. He wasn't a tactician. His generals are like, no, we should be doing it this way. Who's going to tell Hitler you're a fucked up individual and you're going to ruin everything? Let the generals fight the war. Thank you. That's what's going on with Putin to a large degree. And up the chain of command. How many times have we heard about him moving generals and generals disappearing and up and down, people getting promotions and demotions? And it's no one wants to stand up and go, you're fucking this up. You're blowing it. It's the command structure. Again, along with others, many other pieces to the puzzle, but a big one is the disorganization and the disloyalty and the confusion in the command structure. So not hugely reported, but where it is, I'm hearing the same things that you guys are. So we'll see where this goes. But anytime you hear that Russia's pulling back and giving up, I think that's great. I wish that Ukraine could take back over Crimea, But it's such, if you guys look at how they have to attack that through a real tiny little peninsula, a little isthmus in there that connects those two, that's so tough. That's incredibly hard, but I wish they could do it. I Godspeed if they can. I think there would be nothing better than to put Russia in check without them going nuclear. Put them in check and go, you can't do this anymore. Now, be a country, do your job. Here's your role. Do it, fulfill it. Don't do anything else. Just stay right here and do your fucking job. That's what I wish. All right. Another thing that seems confusing to me, and I got to look this up. I may have got this completely wrong. I know that something for sure is that the gross domestic product, the Russia generates money as a country, and it's about the same size as Texas. As far as generating money, I think Texas, I think they produce more money and they have a bigger, their GDP is equal to or bigger than Russia's. So Russia doesn't have the money power to do shit, to do anything, not compared to everybody else. Texas could take them on in that respect. However, this is the part I wanted to look up, and maybe you guys would know this. Maybe I'm wrong on this. They talked about Putin having more money than Elon Musk. Now, that can't be right. I've never heard anybody say that Putin is one of the top richest guys on the planet. Now, maybe he has control over more money than Elon. Maybe he has got his fingers over businesses and structure and economy that generates money. Maybe he control. I'm just asking. That'd be something you guys, this is me asking the rest of the world. If you guys know about that, let me know. If you guys can verify what I'm hearing about the command structure in Russia, please let me know. There's some of you out there that know intimately that could just say yes or no without telling me why. I don't care how you know. I don't care if your cousin's the guy you're talking to and he's in the Russian military. I'm not asking you to divulge sources. I'm just saying, if you guys know some stuff, tell me. Those are two things I'd be interested in knowing. All right. There's some stuff I wanted to say. More stuff there. There's lunch in Ukraine. Yeah, fuck. God, there's a couple different angles to play. All right, let me go through one here. This ties into a few things we talked about today. When you're growing up, you don't cross your dad and you don't challenge your dad. You don't cause a problem for your dad. You don't directly be a fuck up because your dad will kick your ass. You know that. Like, if I do this, I'm going to get my ass kicked, right? It's a basic common sense thing. So you learn as a human being, I'd love to go do this, but there's probably going to be some consequences. My dad's going to kick the shit out of me. There's also like that in school. When you're growing up, there's just, I won't say bullies because you try to stand up to bullies, but there's also people you're like, you know what? I'm just going to avoid this person in high school and junior high, or these people. I'm just going to steer clear. I don't want to fucking fight. I know if I say some stuff in front of these people, it's going to be a fight. There's going to be, if I do this, there's going to be some consequences. You know that. All right. Now, of course, I'm not talking about standing up for yourself, standing up for what's correct, standing up for your beliefs. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about in general. You don't go swinging your dick around as a Dodger fan if you know there's a group of Giant fans over here that are going to start beating you with their metal lunchboxes. You just try to avoid some shit like that. You know, if you do this, there's going to be a reaction. You know, if I piss off my dad, he's going to kick the shit out of me. If I go around these people, I'm going to get... It's the same thing in the workplace. How many of you have ever had a job at a corporation or a business that's large enough to have the owner of the company hired his son for something, and his son's an idiot? We've all been there, and you're like, God, I'd love to say this and do this, but then the son will get me fired. You know you can't do or say around this. You do this and you're going to get fired. You say some shit over here, there's consequences, you're going to get fired. You learn to just leave this alone and you wait and talk shit at the bar with your friends, right? Have I painted a correct picture yet of you do this and things are going to happen over here? All right, I think we've all got it. It's human nature at every level, right? Okay. That's the way the United States used to be in the world, or my perception was. You fuck around, you're going to find out. You do bad things, and the United States is going to step in and stop you. You don't do that. And I'm not just talking about World War I or World War II. I'm not talking about Korea and Vietnam, although those were things where we spent a lot of time and energy and blood of our soldiers to do some things. Even in other things, we step in and we do this. If you fuck around, the United States is going, and people would consider that. The countries, I would love to do this and fuck around, but the United States may do some shit. How many things do you think in the last 50 years were avoided over here because somebody had to give some serious consideration to the consequences over here with the United States getting involved all around the world? And I'm not saying we're perfect. I'm not saying we haven't done some shady shit, all right? Let's not derail the conversation with, well, the CIA burned up a village where this guy, I got it. I'm not talking about that shit. Fuck off. Don't derail the conversation. Don't muddy the waters. How many things were avoided because people, countries, leaders had to consider the weight of the United States' response? A United States response is something to factor in when you're penciling stuff out. I don't feel that that's relevant anymore. I hate that. I don't like that at all. In my feelings, and remember, you guys may say, no, we've hated you all along. Fuck you guys. All right, fair enough. I'm not out there. I'm not outside the window looking in. I'm projecting what my feelings, what I'm guessing is out there. But it felt like the United States did more good than bad. I admit there's bad, more good than bad. It felt like that people would take these things into consideration before they got their ass kicked over here. Now, if that's true in any regard at all, I believe it's gone. If I believed that to be true for the last 50 years, I also believe that it's no longer relevant, that it's not there. I believe that that our country, our leaders, have caved so much to the 3% that we're bending and breaking the very thing that made our country strong enough to do these things over here. You guys are out in the world? I'm asking. You could write down, you guys were fuck-ups, you're still fuck-ups, you've always been fuck-ups. Fair enough. It's your opinion. You also may write me in the comments and say, you guys were badass, now you're not. I don't know. I'm really asking for how you guys feel around the planet. South Africa, I'm asking for the Netherlands, I'm asking for Germany, I'm asking for Israel, I'm asking how you guys feel about that statement, about that specific thing. Don't go off onto other shit. I'm just asking, how correct do you think my feelings, my guesses are? How do you guys feel? And if I can get my wife to copy and paste some answers, that would be great. All right, let me back up here, go up between the sheets. Ramundo Moscalades, Moshkalades? I'm fucking that name up. I do apologize. Says, I have a quick question. If there is such thing as if there's such thing of cultural appropriation, then shouldn't there be a such thing as gender appropriation? Just saying. Yeah, the cultural appropriation is accurate. People steal from cultures all the time. The problem I have with everyone's discussions on cultural appropriation is it's not wrong. That's where the focus groups come in. How many times you guys seen Dr. Phil sit down and say, there's all these black people saying, well, it's cultural appropriation. You guys should not braid your hair like us. You should not dance with rhythm like we do. There's all these things and you shouldn't do it. And you guys are tanning. You're all tanning, trying to get dark like us. And all these stereotypical things. And it's like, that's where the cultural appropriation, in my view, is a great term. Oh boy, did I just piss thousands of people off right now. There's nothing wrong with it. So you see somebody and like, wow, I love the way they look. I love the way they dress. I'm going to do that too. That's a tribute. That's high praise. Imitation is flattery. The fuck is wrong with you people? Don't braid your hair, which I think even when black people braid their hair, weren't the Dutch braiding their hair way before black people? Isn't it called the Dutch weave? Wasn't it? I mean, I'm not trying to step on anybody's dick here, but who cares? Isn't the whole idea we want to be inclusive and we want the United States to be a big melting pot? We all should get together and diversity is the greatest thing. Up until you steal our shit, don't steal our shit, put our shit back, don't touch our shit, don't take our shit. Well, we're just trying to be like you and you can be like us and we're inclusive and we're diverse. It's a melting pot. No fucking melting pot. I want everybody standing together, but with their own cultures and their own divisions, and everybody stand in little cliques and groups, and you do this and you do this by color and race and religion and politics and how you dress and how you look. Fuck! Then don't scream that you want it to be a melting pot. And don't scream you want diversity. As soon as everybody comes together, you start pointing fingers and say, don't look like us, don't look like them. You sit over there with your culture, you get over there with your culture. Fuck off. That is exactly the opposite of what you motherfuckers preach. The problem with the liberal playbook is chapter 1 is directly goes against chapter 2 and chapter 3, and chapter 3 doesn't align with chapter 4. If you ever put the liberal playbook all the way together, it doesn't fucking make sense at all. You can't scream for diversity and being inclusive and a melting pot. And chapter 2 is like cultural appropriation, how wrong it is. Leave our shit alone. We want to be like us. What the fuck, man? Now I'm just a dumb mechanic in the middle of the desert. I'm just Generation X. I've been on this planet half a century. So I've seen a few things. I know a few things. I've looked at a few things. And maybe I've got this all wrong. But when you apply a little bit of common sense to how this fucking train is going down the tracks, it doesn't make fucking sense to me. At all. Sorry, Raimundo, I didn't mean to go sideways. I got my blood pressure up. No, I need to hydrate. Trippy Pineapple's going to scream, hydrate. Sorry, Raimundo. I know you're laughing, we're giggling, we're talking. Well, I think we're on the same page, buddy. But that's how I feel. All right. Oh, my God. All right. Somebody write that down as a slice for the liberal playbook thing. We should do that. Fast Eddie Fishing. I read Russia moving Ukrainians away from the plant because, why? As far as I know, northern Ukrainians are Russian-speaking and want to join Russia anyway. Yeah, Fast Eddie, that's a thing that I've always kind of been confused on a little bit. There definitely are people in Ukraine that would like to be part of Russia. I have no doubt that's true. I think Ukraine, there's people in Ukraine that want Ukraine to be a sovereign state, a sovereign country. So, I don't, then you say, well, if you want to be part of Russia, go fucking move in Russia. But those same people would say, well, but our family's been here generations. We've been here the whole time. We've been Russia the whole time. We're part of the Soviet Union. You guys drew lines on a map that excluded us. We didn't do that. We don't want to move to Russia. Draw the line on the map and let's include my town back in Russia so we can be part of Russia. I'm not sure that I know enough to have a feeling on how they should become part of Russia if they want to be part of Russia, since their family's been there for, 200 years. I'm not even sure I'm allowed to have an opinion on that. I'm not over there. I'm not one of those people. I feel that even kind of offering an opinion would be very arrogant of me to say, well, if you want to be Russian, fucking move to Russia. If you want to have this, then fucking draw the line. Make this town part of Russia again. Now it's part of Russia. Who am I? I can look at it. I can talk about it. But for me to even offer a suggestion, I think that would be a height of arrogance that I would have a lot of trouble defending. I don't want to do that. But I will admit that I'm very aware and sensitive to that there's some people that want to be part of Russia. And how do you do that? I don't know. Good point, though. Very good point. Raimundo, you didn't piss me off. You're telling the straight truth. Thanks, Raimundo. I was worried we weren't going to be on the same page. I was trying to answer your question, but sometimes when I answer a question like that, just things pop in I obviously didn't prepare for that question. I didn't know you were going to come in here and ask that. I had no notes on that. Just the stuff that's been in my head stirring around for months. Then it turns out like that. So I'm glad you asked the question. I'm glad it worked out. I'm glad I answered you, and I'm glad you weren't mad. Now there's two of us to get along. That's great. All right, Senator Woosa. I've got to get some Miyagi stuff going on in here. Doc McFly, new member. I don't think anyone is intimidated by the U.S. anymore. Not to mention our resources have been hit. So could we step in anyway? Yes. I still think there's people intimidated by. My guesstimation is it's far less, and I think it goes administration by administration. I really do. I really think that who's running the country that sets the tone for how people view how much we'll step in over here. And our resources, we still can attack. We can fight wars. I think our military is still capable of fighting 2 major campaigns in different parts of the world, but not for very long. That's my opinion. I don't think without seizing some resources, without squashing some of the regulations that we've put on ourselves, I think that we would have a hard time sustaining a conflict like that. But that's just me. But, Jan Motz, America used to be a powerful influence in the world, but sadly, I don't think they're taken seriously anymore. And that's Jan Motz from the UK, Great Britain. And that's what we're talking about. That I have that feeling also. I'm worried that we don't have that fear. We don't strike that fear into people like we did. Who else is in here? Paul McDonald, welcome to the Bottom of Glass Nation. I hope when Paul's name went by, you guys all said something to him. I didn't see it go by. I'm catching it in the sheets afterwards. I'm hoping you guys took the time to say something to Paul. Thanks for joining up. Brian Ivany, member for 6 months. Brian's been around longer than 6 months. Brian Ivany is a great contributor. When you guys see his name go by, realize that there's a little bit of respect that goes along with that name. Him and I talk personally about stuff. Brilliant guy, a lot of insight, a lot of troubles in his life, just like we all got, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of wherefores and what have you. Brian's a cool cat. Don't forget him. Sean Perry, who here liked the show Blacklist? I'm working my way through that right now, believe it or not. I've never watched it. I just started it about 2 weeks ago, and then when I'm sitting in the room and at my desk and the wife goes to sleep, I click it on. I've been working my way through. Enjoying it so far, I'll let you know. Deepak, member for 6 months. Ireland is similar with Northern Ireland. Some want the UK, some want to be Ireland. Don't ever see a true resolution to it. Well, then at least you guys know where you stand, which is good. All right. Where am I at? Ace, whoa. She's jumping on me here. Ace Diamond, $5. General, Christmas, and Santa are ghost towns from the 19th century. Surprise is a suburb of Phoenix. All right, a little more clarity on that. And the dude's smoking a J, figuring stuff out. Tomash gifted another 5 memberships. We don't know who they are because YouTube's not telling us. Tomash, another $30. I tried to stop the fall on my face with my fist and the floor. And the floor always, he tried to stop the fall to his face with his fist, but the floor always wins, especially after smoking 5 grams and a hand on the way to the bathroom in the dark. Tomash, let me give you some advice, buddy. I love you like a brother. The next time you're falling and you don't want to risk breaking a hand or your arm, let your face hit the ground, okay? Tomash, buddy. I've seen your face, okay? You're really not going to fuck it up any worse than it is, buddy. So at least your face, no one would have known. If you'd have fucking hit the ground on your face, no one would have known, and you'd have had hands that worked. You could have still been a productive member of society. Yeah, and no one would have known. You'd have gone to work the next day. No one would have said what happened to your face. Not at all, buddy. Just keep that in mind. Next time, follow my advice. You get that one for free. You're welcome. Oh, my God. Irving Rabadibadoo. Irving Rabadibadoo. Irving Rabbitdoo says, what's your opinion about the power grid possibly taken out by terrorists? I don't think so anymore. I think they've been on top of that. I think the country is working on, I think we even have hackers in our country that are hacking their way in to protect it. And I shouldn't have told you that because I got told that by someone who I wasn't supposed to talk about. My fault. Discord movie night tonight. The Empire Strikes Back. We're still celebrating Star Wars. May the 4th be with you. Was already gone by, but it's May. It's Star Wars all month long here at Gen X Talks. If you go to the Discord server, we hang out and watch a movie together. It's a lot of fun. Sometimes there's 5 people. Sometimes there's 50. Trippy Pineapple runs that with Gen Z Kid. They're putting it on tonight. It should be a good movie. These are the ones that I watch too. I'll sit with you guys. I'll be there. Ace Diamond, $5. General, and he circled the wagons and got the drink. Now, Ace has been around for a long time. He knows what circling the wagons and pomegranate stains are. He was there. Tomash Kins, give me Tomash, another $6, and he's laughing at me. All right, you guys. All right. So I don't want to go just yet. Don't let me go. There's something I want to show you guys. This is important. This is on the news right now. Okay. You guys are going to hear a lot about this. It came out about 2 weeks ago. It's now hitting mainstream news, and it's hitting platforms really hard. YouTube they've suffered some losses, not as big as Facebook, financially for different reasons. The economy goes up and down. But YouTube is demonetizing entire channels. Not that they pay a ton out, unless you're in the stratosphere, the less than 0.0001% who make just grips of money with hundreds of millions of views. No, I'm not. Just the regular guys that we scrounge for $3 here and $9 there for every video. You get 20,000 views and you get $6, stuff like that. Now, what they're doing, and no one can figure out what their criteria is, but they're demonetizing entire channels. And then people are fighting to appeal and get them back, and it takes months. Now, we haven't fallen into that yet, and I don't know how we've stayed out in front of it. What they're doing to us, though, is they're demonetizing a video and saying, we'll review it. We almost win every review. We win 19 out of 20 reviews, appeals. We win them. And they say, oh, yeah, we reviewed it. We manually reviewed it. You're good to go. But what they're doing is that if you're going to get paid, if you get a video that gets 50,000 views and we get $3 off that, or it gets 100,000 views and we get, $6 off of that, we don't get the money during all those views. After everyone's done watching the video, after the big surge has been out there for the first 2 or 3 days, after all the views trickle in after, as you can imagine, the views trickle in after that, then they turn your video back on and say, oh yeah, it's good to go. You can make money. And I sit there and go, what? But why now? Everyone's already watched it. Dumbasses. Who cares? Who gives a shit now? They did that on today's live stream. Now, picture this. I set everything up for you guys. I do my thumbnail. I do the description. I get the picture, the cover. I get it all done. And I hit go live. And it comes up on your screen. And we begin, I begin moving some things around, getting ready for the show. The thing's broadcasting. You guys have the save screen on. You've seen this when it starts with this save screen right here, right? And then we move things around. The moment I hit go live, I haven't said anything yet. You haven't written anything. They demonetized it. The second I hit go live, I haven't said anything. You hadn't said anything. The description was clean. The cover picture was clean. There was nothing wrong. They demonetized it. It's under review. Now, it'll come out of review and say everything's fine, but probably not till we're done. Probably not for a day or two when everyone's done watching it. What is the point of getting paid for views after everybody's already viewed it? The good news is, and this is the way I try to tell the kid to look at it, I say people donate $5, $10, $3, $2. It makes up for the $2, $3, $5 that YouTube would give us. And I try to explain to him, I say, I'd rather have our friends given a few bucks where we can do one of these than have to rely on YouTube to gather up YouTube money where we can pay for a new microphone, or we can get it something in the background for I'd rather any day of the week. It gives us the ability to tell them to go fuck themselves on stuff when they're not being fair and they're not being correct. There's no reason to demonetize it. Especially the perfect example was today. We hadn't started yet. I hadn't said anything yet at all, and you guys hadn't written anything, and it was already demonetized the moment we started. This is a big thing on the platforms, but our channel is not demonetized yet. Right now, they're just hitting us on individual videos. They did one. I got an email that says, this video right here that you posted is now has a copyright infringement. And I looked at it, I go, that was 12 years ago. Not even related to Gen X Talks. 12 years ago, this video went up, and they just now put a copyright. Don't tell me that they're not applying brand new rules to old videos. They're not grandfathering anybody in, not even a little bit. I want you guys to know that if I can pass along some of the inside skinny on that, I'm going to tell you. And that was one of them. I just thought it was important for you guys to know. All right. So we talk about that. I think we're good right there. The last thing I want to talk about before we go, this is because it's still a hot topic, but I want to tell you, everybody knows about the Bud Light thing. All right. Not going to repeat it. I want to tell you something you may not know. I ran across a couple stories, so I dug a little deeper. So real quick, you guys know the whole Bud Light thing, and people quit drinking it, people quit buying it. Got it. We all know that part. Do you know that now the gay and lesbian bars are not buying it? Yeah, the gay and lesbian bars are pissed off at Bud Light too, and they're not buying it. The last little corner that they had of people that would support are telling them, go fuck off, we're not buying your stuff. Would you like to know why? Good. I was hoping you'd say yes, because that's why I'm here. So they piss off a bunch of people over here, and nobody buys their beer. But they don't worry; they still have the gay and lesbian community, LGBTQ communities that are still drinking their beer because you're supporting them. Then Bud Light decides, okay, everybody, hold on. It was one influencer. It was one can of beer. We're not a campaign. We're not going down that road of LGBTQ. We're not going down that road. It was just one little thing. And then the LGBTQ community went, what? I'm sorry, what was that? You're not supporting us? You are supporting us, but you're backing away from this? Well, fuck you. We're not buying your beer either. And then Bud Light throws up their hand and goes, fuck, we made a deal and it fucked up everything. We're trying to back out of it, but now, and no one's changing. They're trying to back away from this whole issue. No one's buying it. And now the one little area that they had, they're not doing it either. Now they're pissed off because Bud Light's backtracking, so they've lost them. Bet you didn't hear that story. True story. Go look it up. Lots of little things coming out about that. I know that's not the main story. I know that's not what everybody else is always talking about. I, however, found it remarkably interesting. I thought I'd share it with you. Why? Because I can. Because there's no agenda. Nobody knows what I'm going to say. All right, let me get between the sheets and we'll go through here one more time. Ramundo says, you as a white man, I'm taken back by how you speak. It's like good cocaine. Raw and uncut. Do you guys ever look at me and think, good cocaine? Did anybody ever? Now, there's a few of you that may go, that's how I've been looking at you since the beginning, General. I always think good cocaine when I see you. Oh, Ramundo. Oh, that's funny. You as a white man, I'm taken aback by how you speak. It's like good cocaine, raw and uncut. But on a serious note, what is your take on this whole culture cancel crap? It seems weird to me. Yeah, Ramundo, you know what? Write me that next time. It's too long of a topic. Mrs. Fort Watton gifted 5 memberships, but we can't tell who. For some reason, YouTube's not letting us know. Tomash gifted another 5 memberships, but we can't tell the who. If you got the memberships that were gifted today, and you guys will know, go to the community section and look at all the stuff you didn't get to see. Automatically, 2 years of behind-the-scenes stuff will now be visible to you. Yeah, if you've been gifted the membership, go look at it, because now you scroll through and there's tons of stuff that you weren't even able to see before, and now you can see it. And there's a lot of stuff in there, a lot of good stuff, a lot of personal stuff, a lot of fun stuff, a lot of stuff that explains what's been going on. So there you go. Listen, I got to get out of here. I got to go. It's been a little bit over an hour. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for hanging out. I love the World Show. I love interacting with you guys across the planet. I get to say some stuff. I get to ask some stuff, and you guys get to inform me. I dig that. All this, there's stuff that you guys were telling me. You guys got to read it in the comments. I got to read it here. I didn't always have time to repeat it, but the information that flows through here is just tremendous. I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you had to burn up an hour of your time, what better place to waste it than with Gen X Talks? We're at the top of the list of lessons in futility. We're up there, I promise you. Listen, wherever you go, there you are. And however you're listening to us, AM, FM, Sirius XM, or anywhere around the world on the Armed Service Radio Network, I promise you one thing. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Ha ha!